We have some more updates for you this morning. Leading politician asks for Queen Meghan, some news on Harry and Oprah's new TV show, and yet more divorces in the royal family. But first, a UK politician who is in the running to replace Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has stated she would like to see Duchess Meghan as Queen. Labour leadership hopeful Lisa Nandy confessed during a live TV debate she would quite like to see Meghan Markle become the new monarch of the UK at some point. She mentioned this when quizzed about the royals in a Labour leadership debate. Appearing on a live TV debate broadcasted by Channel 4, Miss Nandy, Keir Starmer and Rebecca Long-Bailey were asked whether they would vote to keep or scrap the monarchy if the UK held a referendum on it in the near future. Miss Nandy, MP for Wigan, was the only one to say she would scrap the institution of monarchy because she is a Democrat. However, after her fellow candidates gave their answers, Miss Nandy spoke up again, adding, "I'd quite like to see Queen Meghan at some point."
In a referendum on keeping the monarchy, would you vote to keep it or scrap it? Lisa Nandy.
Well, I'm a Democrat, so I would vote to scrap it. The monarchy.
You wouldn't vote to abolish the monarchy?
I'd quite like to see Queen Meghan at some point.
Okay, fine, right. This is a yes or no.
The remark gained cheers and applause from the audience attending the live TV debate. Miss Nandy was the first to field the question on whether they would vote to get rid of the monarchy in a referendum. Responding to Krishna Guru Murthy, she said, "I'm a Democrat, so I would vote to scrap it." She did caveat her point with, "This is not a priority." Former Director of Public Prosecutions Sir Keir said, "I think I would vote to downsize it. It did not come up on the doorstep," he added. "This isn't one of the priorities." Lisa Nandy's remark about liking to see Meghan as the Queen got some responses on Twitter. One who appreciated the comment wrote on Twitter, "Queen Meghan is right. She and Harry are a level above the rest." Another confessed the humorous comment pushed her towards supporting Miss Nandy. They said, "Yes, at Lisa Nandy, Queen Meghan comment has my vote." Another, however, took the comment more seriously and pointed out how, in the reality of facts, Meghan would become Queen. They said, "You do realise that this requires the demise of William and all his children." Another added, "Is this the kinder, gentler politics of a communist regime?" Another added, "Nope, she was my favourite before this stupid statement, not anymore." Miss Nandy, who was one of the 72 female MPs who signed an open letter backing Meghan last year, showed her support to the Sussexes. Another Twitter user did not like the comment, perhaps taking it a little too seriously. She said, "I heard the gasp of the nation as she said that and laughed. It was not funny, at Lisa Nandy, neither for our Queen or Meghan. You were disrespectful of both members of the royal family with your joke and your laugh. You plummeted in my estimation of you being leader of the opposition." I believe someone is taking the statement too seriously. Still, it's interesting how such a flippant comment regarding Meghan and the Queen can touch on such a raw nerve for some people. In other news, a report today states that Harry and Oprah's new mental health series has been partially filmed in the UK already. The Sussex Royal Instagram account shared the news last April with a statement that read, "The dynamic multi-part documentary series will focus on both mental illness and mental wellness, inspiring viewers to have an honest conversation about the challenges each of us face and how to equip ourselves with the tools to not simply survive but to thrive." The commitment builds on the Duke of Sussex's long-standing work on issues and initiatives regarding mental health, where he has candidly shared personal experience and advocated for those who silently suffer, empowering them to get the help and support they deserve. It has now been reported that the series has been partly filmed in the UK with a spokesperson for the charity Combat Stress, which helps military veterans struggling with anxiety, depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, sharing that they have been involved in the show and that there have been visits to their UK-based hospitals and treatment centres in Shropshire, Ayr and Surrey. Prince Charles is a patron for the charity, and in 2019 he launched the At Ease Appeal to raise 10 million to fund mental health treatment and services. In other news, after last week's news that the Queen's grandson Peter Phillips and wife Autumn are to divorce, we have yet another divorce announced this week within the royal family. Marriages are just not lasting in this institution, are they? The Queen's nephew, the Earl of Snowdon, and his wife, the Countess of Snowdon, have amicably agreed to divorce, a spokesman for the couple has said. The Earl, David Armstrong Jones, is the son of the late Princess Margaret and photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones. He has been married to wife Serena for 26 years. They have 2 children. The announcement comes less than a week after the Queen's grandson Peter Phillips and his wife Autumn also revealed they are to split. In a statement on Monday, a spokesman for the Snowdons said the Earl and Countess of Snowdon have amicably agreed that their marriage has come to an end and that they shall be divorced. They ask that the press respect their privacy and that of their family. The couple married in October 1993 and have 2 children, Viscount Linley, Charles Armstrong Jones and Lady Margarita Armstrong Jones. The Earl's mother, Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, died in 2002, and his father, celebrity photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones, died in 2017. As always, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and press that notification bell if you would like to be notified in the future when we upload videos. In other news, the press this morning are just continuing like before with more negative stories about Meghan and Harry, but instead of them just making up stuff, they seem to be using a lot of stories from Meghan's estranged brother and sister, half-brother, whatever he is, but we won't be going into that trash. But what I do find interesting is there is always these contrasting stories about Kate and William, which are published on the same day, which are super positive. As you well know, the press have been really pushing Kate and William of late, whilst trying to push Meghan and Harry down. And I found this story today, and it really takes the biscuit. This wins the prize for the most transparent story yet. Now don't get me wrong, I've nothing against Kate and William. This is about how the press represents them. And if I were them, I wouldn't be happy with this type of reporting. It makes them look bad in my opinion, because it is so obviously saying to the public, please like Kate and William more and stop liking Meghan and Harry, please. That is what this story is saying. It is literally spelling it out to the public. Look at this, from the Daily Fail. Who else? It says, Kate Middleton has picked up steam and stepped into a more confident role in the firm after a period when it felt like she wasn't doing a lot, according to royal expert. Look at that silly headline. It literally spells out to the public, okay, we've heard royal fans state online quite a bit that Kate hasn't worked so hard in the past as a royal, but now she is really doing lots more. So can you please like her now and stop liking Meghan and Harry so much? That's what it's saying in a nutshell. Omid Scobie, who used to be talking about Meghan non-stop, is now shouting out for Kate Middleton in the article. He says, the Duchess of Cambridge has picked up steam with her role. He goes on to say the early years project came after a time when it felt like she wasn't doing a lot. So what are you saying there, Omid? Are you speculating that Kate used to be a little bit lazy? I don't know. So there you are. This type of article we are seeing a lot, and it really says much more than what the article is actually saying. There are some people somewhere who are extremely concerned about Meghan and Harry's popularity when compared to Kate and William. But this article is not the way to go. The public are not stupid. They see through this kind of thing.